Hey YouTube, it's that dude named Dave and welcome to my channel. You've been here before, welcome back. Before we get started, my price of admission. Like, subscribe, and the bell notification below. You guys are watching my videos, but you're all not subbed yet. So let me help you by helping me out here and give you guys a few seconds to do this. Okay, we got those few seconds off the way. We don't do long intros. Today's video, we're coming back to Kevin Samuels. In this video here, he was talking to a woman regarding if men are trash and did women have it different in the past than they do today with their options. So we're gonna get to the video. We're gonna let Kevin cook in. We're gonna try to make this make sense.
What are you saying your parents and your grandparents had to tolerate that you guys don't have to tolerate?
Well, women back in the day, a lot of them didn't have options. They weren't educated. They didn't go to school. They were home taking care of the families.
Again, so, what did you have to tolerate?
Right.
The cheating, the infidelity.
Let me stop you right here. Let me stop you right here. Did you just see the previous caller?
I did.
The one before
Yes, I did.
The one who in the black community, black men cheat at a rate of 28%. What rate do black women cheat at?
What is it, Kev?
Well, we don't talk about those numbers.
Yeah, we do.
We talk about them here, though.
What do you think?
Maybe 30%?
24, but there's more of you. Black women cheat too.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
That's a good point here. See, you saw how we started this video off, how this woman want to go straight to how men just cheat and how men are just as evil items here that we are in today's society, especially black men. But this is actually a true stat that's actually broken down that 28% of men who are polled, who are in relationships, admitted to cheating. And in that same poll here, 24%, but there's actually more women. So whatever you want to say it, ladies, women cheat as much as men do. You know what I always say? We are human beings. People are going to do what they're going to do. People are going to feel how they're going to feel, and they're going to move how they're going to move. So you just can't cast aspersions on men saying that all men are dogs, all men cheat. Women do it too at the same pace. Let's continue.
Absolutely.
So the cheating is coming from who? See, here's what I'm trying to understand. I grew up watching things that I never saw. Waiting to Exhale, Color Purple.
Right.
I've been around a long time, and what I know more than anything else is, don't look in the comment section, we're talking. What I know more than anything else is women in our generation use Rosetta and Sojourner and women in the past who have made a much tougher stuff as a reason to say you're strong and independent, but you're not made of the same things. We don't quit, y'all quit. And it's not because you're being treated poorly.
Okay.
If 80% of divorces are filed in the black community by women, even if half of them are filed for the worst things, that means 4 out of 10 still aren't.
I want to pause at that point here because we hear all the time about how women want to say that, I had to do what I had to do. I want to be happy. But what is the point of marriage? Is it about love or is it about duty? Because women feel that they can just get in a relationship, then get married and say, well, if it doesn't work out, I can get divorced. But isn't it supposed to be to death do we part? And on top of that, too, when we're talking about how the most heinous crimes that could be suggested, that even if they were accounted, women still be leaving their marriages at a 4 out of 10 rate here. Why are you even getting married if your mentality is, I'm just going to go if things ain't looking right? Why even put yourself in that situation? Why even put the man in the situation to be even possibly destitute? See, women don't even see the actions that's actually going on right now. But let's continue.
Well, still twice as much. That 40% is still twice as many as men find.
Yeah, but I think that's all based on perspective, and that's relative to the situation and the individuals involved. So what one woman is willing to tolerate, another woman might not be.
You keep saying
what?
Tolerate. What are you tolerating?
Right. What is she talking about, y'all?
Mistreatment, or is
mistreatment.
So called to tell you I agreed with most of what you were saying tonight.
I know, but I get it. But the thing is, when you say something like that, man, you put it out into the air that women back in the day had to put up with stuff that we didn't have to put up with. We don't have to put up with that. And I'm asking, what are you talking about? Because all this stuff.
What is she talking about? And what are most women talking about here? Because I think we're going to get to the point here, but for some reason, women today want to believe that their mothers, their grandmothers, big mama, big daddy was always stepping out on big mama. They want to make it seem like that they had no education, that being a housewife was a slave, was demeaning to the Black woman. And now today, since we're able to go to college and we're able to get our education, we have options. We can do what we want to do, girl. And you're looking at grandma saying, why do you have to deal with that mess? Not even understanding or even doing the full details of what generations have to go through back in the day, how every generation changes and shifts. But they want to assume because the fact that they didn't go to college or they didn't have these corporate jobs, that these women were unhappy, that these women were slaves. That is the wrong mentality that we have modern women thinking today.
I can tell you. Let's talk about the abuse. A lot of women back in the day dealt with abuse, financial abuse, abuse, and the manipulation that all of that entails.
But modern women.
Wait, before Kevin kicks in, I'm gonna let Kevin cook here for a second. She is basically casting the aspersion that all men move this way, especially when married during these times here, and when women didn't have these options. Then you want to throw financial abuse, you want to throw some DV abuse on here, you want to throw all these items here to make it seem like this was all men. These are feminist talking points here, because I don't know about you guys, when I was growing up, my mother had 15 brothers and sisters. I got so many cousins that I don't even know them or can't even count, but I didn't see my family moving this way, and we are spread across through Mississippi in the South to Kentucky to here in Chicago, California, all over. So I know that I'm saying it's like, oh yeah, you're just talking about your particular situation. We shouldn't talk about items like that, Dave, because we want to talk about the rule, not the exception. Exactly. We want to talk about the rule, and we want to bring out these exceptions and these janky conceptions that people want to talk about that is not even true. Let's continue now. Let's let Kevin cook.
Women, okay, that you're talking that color purple Alice
exactly,
Walker stuff.
Kev.
I never witnessed any of this stuff.
I didn't either.
I'm sorry, man.
It may have happened, but not on a mass scale.
I'm saying that how many women do you? Let me just back it up because I don't want to get anecdotal. This is a bunch of propaganda.
Thank you, Kev.
Generation X Black women are not getting beat up and abused.
Right. Okay.
Why are you saying right for?
And neither was silent era Black women.
But neither was
generation, the greatest generation.
But you're not taking into consideration that men were completely different back then than they are now.
There was no abuse, ma'am. If you go back and look when The Color Purple came out, it was a big uproar in this country because they said how much it was going to damage the family. Man, I'm Black. You're Black. I didn't see women walking through the neighborhood with black eyes and shit looking like Ike and Tina. This is
where did you live? Where did you grow up?
Oh wow.
Does it matter?
Yes,
did you see it?
It all depends.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. It all depends on
your
community.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm from New York City. I'm from the Bronx. The Bronx, New York.
And
the Bronx.
So you know,
hold on. In the Bronx, in the projects, you can't even have men living in there.
Well, I'm 1980. There were men living in there. There were ways. There were rules that men could not live in there, but women found ways to get the men in there.
Let's do it.
But that's not what we're talking about.
You see how argumentative she is? That she is going hard on this hill to trying to demean men. And she keeps saying, I agree with you, Kevin. No, you're not. Because if you agreed with Kevin or you agreed with men, you wouldn't have this attitude that she moves here. I've had similar conversations with women like this here who are moving in this same fashion. Even one woman in particular who I used to date that want to put the aspersion that I blame all men. Like, seriously? You're going to blame all men. You're not going to put any items on women in this current generation. No, men are the problem. You see, there is no accountability. This energy showcases that want to push it onto somebody else, that there is something wrong with men, but there's nothing wrong with us. Let's continue.
About, right?
Now, what we're talking about, man, what we're talking about is you said that women in our generation did not put up with stuff other women put up with, and I call bullshit on that. Women in our generation were full of themselves. You counted as a double minority. You got Title IX and affirmative action put you in positions in corporate America that should have gone to black men as a result of civil rights. But when companies realized that they could get 2 for 1 with a black woman, black women got put in positions of power instead of black men. That was supposed to be part of our settlement. And what happened in the 90s? When sisters got those jobs, what did they do? They turned on black men. Sally Jesse Raphael, Donahue, Geraldo, Rolanda, Ricky Lake, Oprah. This is when all this, where all the good brothers at. Because so many sisters have white collar corporate jobs and looking down on blue collar factory working men. I've talked about this. Dr. Tia Johnson teaches on this. Our women turn their backs on black men, and you created a story that none of y'all lived.
Okay, but
that is a great point here, Kevin. Black women has turned their backs on black women turn their backs on black men. Now, people are going to say, well, you know what, black man? Y'all don't want us. Y'all complain about us. Look at your videos, that dude. Every one of your videos, when you do Kendra G videos or whatever reaction videos, you're just dogging us out. But I'm not just dogging women out here. I am pointing out the facts and showing what's coming out of women's mouths here. This is something that Kevin's having a conversation with this woman here, and she is coming out the gate want to come out propaganda about men. It's not even true. These videos that we showcase women here that don't even care or want to know about men's wants and needs. It's only about what women want. Women has gotten to a point in society that men are no longer needed. And men are seeing this crunch saying, why are we dealing with this here in modern culture here? Let's continue.
But listen, I'm not disagreeing with that, right?
Oh, you're not disagreeing with Kevin saying there.
Agreeing with that because I'm all on the whole submission thing, the man is the head, all of that, right? I'm on that time.
Okay.
But black men do the same thing. As soon as they get into position of power,
what?
Or they become famous, or they meet a certain financial plateau, they no longer look at black women. They go to other ethnicities.
Are you out of your mind?
I'm not.
You hear this here? Like, I'm going to let Kevin Cook is going to say here, black men go out of their community when they are forced out. Black women is not giving black men the options to say, we want to pick you. Black men are not choosing white women or Mexican, the Beckys and the Marisols, because the fact that we make a certain amount of money and say, okay, it's time to move on. No, the black woman, you've seen her attitude and her voice and her energy is letting us know that the black woman don't want us. And then when we're here, what are we called? We're shamed, insult, the guilt, and the need to be right, the sign language to make us feel less than so that they could be right. Let's continue.
Not out of my mind. You don't like to be.
Hold on. Look, I deal with stats. Black men are married to black women at what rate?
I'm not dealing with race. I'm dealing with facts.
I'm dealing with rates. I'm dealing with.
You do the math. You have time to do the math. That's your profession.
No.
I'm dealing with reality.
No. I'm dealing with statistics and facts. Black demographics.
You do research for that.
What rate when black men are married? What rate are they married to black women?
Good question, Kev.
From what I was talking about in my perspective and what I see based on television, the media,
I'm basing it on actual data.
No.
You have time for that, Kevin.
Time for that.
Then don't talk about it, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's prevalent and what is being.
Then don't talk about what I'm saying.
Y'all hear this?
Man, your title is so author. And if you're going to talk about black men like this, if you're going to talk about black male image, I'm going to ask you that you be right on the facts. That's all I'm going to ask.
So you want me to give the complete?
I want you when you
data.
can come. No, what I want you to do is if you can come out talking about when black men get a position of power, then they do something and so forth. If you can say that, you better be able to back it up with the facts, data,
I can't. That's the
because they don't
back,
because the facts don't back that up. Black men are married to a black woman at an 87% rate. Nobody is married out like that.
The men that you
87%.
Talk about, the high value men.
Look at that
you
qualifier.
Always speak about
see, he gave her a stat. 87% of black men, we marry black women. We don't marry out like that. But she wants to say, oh, but it's the high value men. You see how when you give women statistics, we give them the fact that they don't like numbers. They only want to work on what they see because what they see is their truth, not the truth that's actually happening every day.
And what rate do you think that is?
Oh, mister. Oh,
what rate? No,
Mr.
tell me.
Kevin.
No.
Now this is supposed to be a dialogue.
Don't. At what rate of high value men? Because what you're telling me, they marry out at a higher rate.
No, I'm saying that the high value men that you talk about on your show often, they once they are high valued, after most of the time the black woman has built them up.
Wow.
They shit upon
The
them once they get to
disrespect.
the top.
You hear this?
Yeah, you're a feminist.
So, I'm not a feminist. I am not
See,
a feminist.
I
Do
need to,
not
I need you to
disrespect me by
understand.
calling.
Yes, she is a feminist. You saw Kevin call that out. I will pause it and end the video here. I'll put the link in the description if you want to see the whole conversation with Kevin Samuels here. I wanted to point out that dialogue discussion here because this is something that black men deal with every day. And unfortunately, this is how black women view black men. This is how black women look at us in the lens here, and so much propaganda has been spread, has been put upon the black community that makes us look less than. Movies like The Color Purple, like Kevin Samuels said earlier, movies like Waiting to Exhale. Now, here's a situation. Yes, there are bad relationships. Yes, men have done heinous things. I'm not going to be someone that's going to put his head in the sand. You're thinking, oh, Dave, you got sunglasses on. You don't see what's actually happening here. We live in Earth. We live in America. We know people do bad things. The problem is the propaganda to trying to say that all black men are like this, that all women were basically slaves and had to looked down and they couldn't do nothing for their men as Big Mama and them were coming up 40, 50 years ago, that black men, they cheat at higher rates than women. And the fact that when we make money, we leave our black women. These are false. These are false. This is propaganda that when she said here, the media, other black women, other items that is put upon us to split us apart to where we're at today. It is 2022 right now, going to 2023. And what are we talking about? We are talking about single men getting their passports, leaving the country because they're feeling it is a raw deal to deal with women in America, especially black men. So if black men are seeing that we need to pick options to go elsewhere because the fact that we're not being treated accordingly, we're not being talked about accordingly, women are believing the propaganda and the lies being spread upon us, where that our community is spread the most apart, knowing that black women only get married at 26% clip here, when the next highest clip is white women at 53%. So what are black men deciding to do? We don't want to deal with this anymore. We're saying we love Kevin Samuels. We love the teachers. We want to be with black women here. If women can be on our accord and on our schedule and the nuclear relationships. But what happened here? We're not seeing enough women who want to accept the blue collar men, the men who are actually doing good, but it may not be your cup of tea. He doesn't tickle your fancy. He's not the guy in IG who is sexy and buff and he's 6'2". So we have men here exploring their options, looking at other items, and now women are seeing what is going on here. What is the problem here? So men, here's what I want to put this message to, that if you see women talking this feminist talking points that this woman did in this video here, that all men are trash, that men cheat, that the women of yesteryear didn't have any options, walk away, run away, because she is someone that's been misguided. She has been told a bill of lies. She's telling her girlfriends this here. And then if you get into a relationship with her, she's eventually gonna showcase how she is. She's gonna show her good persona at first, but then she's gonna show her real nature. It's like, okay, when are you gonna cheat? When are you gonna do the bad things? When are you gonna be the black man I expect? And fellas, we need to find women on our court who are fit, feminine, and friendly, can understand that we are good men and not to believe the tropes of yesteryear. Comment, like, subscribe, and click on that bell notification below. Let me know what you think about my commentary. Let me think about our dear fallen soldier, Kevin Samuels, and this woman here. But until next time, I'm that dude named Dave. See y'all later, YouTube world.